I was one of the first women in New Zealand to be diagnosed with the BRCA1 mutation.
That's the main killer of all of my ancestors.
Most people in New Zealand today have an awareness of the BRCA1 gene mutation because of Angelina Jolie and her diagnosis several years ago. People learned that the gene does run in families and it increases your risk dramatically of breast and ovarian cancers. I myself have never had cancer, but my mother and my grandmother both died of ovarian cancer.
So I originally got this blood test done because my Aunt Barb had been diagnosed with breast cancer. Cancer runs in my family, so that's the main killer of all of my ancestors. It's taken two grandfathers, my grandmother, my mother, and almost took my aunt. So we thought it was important to get this test done. Come to find out, this genetic mutation does run in that side of my family. So my mom was diagnosed in '98. She fought her battle until '02 when it finally beat her. She finally got chemo and radiation, and that's what I think I saw her just take a major decline in her quality of life. You know, she didn't look healthy, she didn't feel good. So that chemo and radiation is really the biggest part of this. I really want to avoid having to go through that if I can. December 1st, I got my blood drawn for this, and by December 30th had the results. And she sat with me and discussed everything, looked over the report, informative about the whole thing and what I can do, my options. So I could have not gotten this double mastectomy. I could have done more frequent treatments, including the mammograms and breast MRIs.
After the advice from my surgeons, I went and had my family and then made the decision to have my ovaries removed and my breasts removed. But once I was able to get my head around, for me, what I was going to have to go through, then it's enabled me to be in a really good position now and feel that I've made the right decisions and at the right time for me.
Along with all the research that I did, the main things that really stood out to me is that I get to keep so much if I do it now before getting diagnosed with cancer. I will be able to keep my skin, my nipple, my lymph nodes, my pectoral muscle, everything but the breast tissue inside. It's not the easiest decision, but it's going to be best for my future, and so that's what's keeping me focused. Is if I get it done now, 3 months is nothing when you look back on it. If you have a family history of cancer, I would definitely suggest getting this blood test done. It's just a blood draw. They send everything to the lab and they test to see if you have this genetic mutation. And if it were my friends, I would say go get it done.